The following is Melanie's 227 test 3 number 7. This is also a question from my fall 2011 math 227 test 3 number 5. Those will be the same question. Okay, the standard deviation of math test scores at one high school is 16.1. Now that is the population standard deviation. Now teacher claims that the standard deviation of the girls test score is smaller than 16.1. Now then a random sample of 22 girls result in scores with standard deviation 13.3. Use a significance level of 0.01 to test the teacher's claim. Assume that the population is normally distributed. Now let's see. The claim, let's see, maybe I should start with the n is 22, right? And therefore the degree of freedom is 21. Now significant level is 0.01. Okay, and then the random sample of 22 girls result in scores with standard deviation. So that's a sample standard deviation 13.3. Now let's start. The claim is that the standard deviation of the girls' test scores is smaller than 16.1. Now, okay, that's the claim. Now, part 2, the hypothesis. The standard deviation is less than 16.1. That's alternate hypothesis. The standard deviation is less than 16.1. Therefore, the null hypothesis, the status quo, the standard deviation is greater or equals to 16.1. Basically, if we have the sample standard deviation 13.3, is it enough to claim that the standard deviation of those girls, the girls' scores, is actually less than 16.1? Is 13.3 significantly less than 16.1? Okay, now so let's see test step 3, the test statistic. The chi-squared star, let me use that, that's equals to the degree of freedom times the standard deviation squared divided by the standard deviation of the population being claimed, right? And I squared. Now then from there I compute the chi-squared star equals to 21 times 13.3 squared divided by 16.1 squared. That's 14.33081. Okay, that's the test statistic, the chi-squared. Step 4, the critical value. Notice that we use chi distribution here, right? Because we are testing the standard deviation. Now, the chi distribution, we need the left tail, right? We need the left tail because it has to be less than 16.1, and the significance level is 0.01. So the area to the right of that will be 0.99. Let's see, the degree of freedom is 21, and the area to the right of that is 0.99. We are looking at 8.897. 8.897. So chi-square critical is 8.897. compare that to the test statistic. This is 8.897, and somewhere to the right of that is 14.33081. That's the test statistic. Now notice that from there we can see step 5. This is the informal conclusion. We will accept null hypothesis. Okay, or we can say that later on we are the sample data. The conclusion will be the conclusion at 1% significance level. The sample data is not sufficient to support the claim that the standard deviation is smaller than 16.1. Okay, now this is the question from fall 2011 Math 227 test 3. In my test, this is question number 5. In Melanie's test, fall 2011 Math 227 test 3, this is question 7 in Melanie's test. Okay.